Hello gamers, welcome to my new player guide for Arma Reforger. Arma is a little more complex than your typical run and gun shooter, so we're going to cover the training mode, joining a modded server, making and saving weapon loadouts, using the radio and proximity chat, constructing buildings and defensive structures, vehicle basics, and supply runs. Let's rock and roll. The first thing you will see when you load into the game is the main menu. Let's go to the play section, then click training in the upper right. Then click continue. When the map loads, you'll be in your bunk. Run out and head towards the Jeep. Hop into the Jeep and look at the instructor and start the training. Oops. Anyways, when it's all said and done, you'll finish at the obstacle course.
You do drive stick, right?
Out of the Jeep and run over to the instructor to begin the obstacle course. Here you will be able to practice the basic movements, crawling, mantling, and interacting with ladders. After finishing the course, you can run over to the firing range.
Sergeant.
Here's a great place to nail down your keybinds if you prefer to make any changes to the functions, like focusing versus aiming down sight, mounting, and leaning left and right.
And because right now, what you got there is about as useless as a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, I'd grab some mags from the ammunition box. Okay, load your weapon. That rifle you're toting deserves your love and respect. Keep your booger picker off the trigger and approach the firing line. Let's see what you got.
One thing to note, while using heavy weapons like a mounted 50 caliber machine gun, either in this capacity or on the roof of a Humvee, you can focus downrange or you can use the weapon's optics. Knowing how to use both functions will be very helpful to you in a firefight. Next, we will go over medical. I have a separate video specific to using medical items to tend to your own wounds linked up here in the corner and down in the description.
I take it you're here. First aid 101? Not much time to get into it, but we'll get you some pointers. How's that sound?
Giving medical assistance can feel a little clunky, especially in tight areas like a bathroom. So knowing what to look for ahead of time will help speed up the care you can provide, as your teammates can bleed out in front of you if you are fumbling around for too long.
You know we ain't doing mouth-to-mouth and shit, right?
You will want to check for injuries, and then with the bandage in your hands, not your weapon, because you can accidentally shoot your teammate. Ask me how I know. You can apply a bandage to a limb, torso, or head injury. Afterwards, you can give them some morphine, however, it may increase their revival time, but sometimes you need to move fast for your own safety.
Next, chest. Again, if you're out, you'll find a journal table beside me. No, wait, something. Our casualty will be stable. Saving solution and administer it intravenously. Okay, water. Increase blood volume. Okay, finally, we've got to consider pain management and morphine.
Also, sometimes it bugs, and it wouldn't let me inject morphine in this case, and it really didn't like it when I tried to inject some pain so I could inject some morphine. Anyways, let's go look at some special weapons and explosives.
Here for the special weapons training? Okay then, listen up. Today we're dealing with two basic munition types, anti-personal and anti-armor. Handle them properly, and we'll have no problems. Handle them improperly, and I guarantee I'll be scraping you up and sending you home in a coffee can. Got it? Good. Consider that your safety brief.
The training here is pretty straightforward. You'll just want to follow the instructor's instructions. The requirements are straightforward. Blow stuff up at range. Next, you'll use the plastic explosives. Follow the instructions so you don't put on the timed fuse and blow yourself up. You can attach them all to a detonator and blow them all up at once at range. Alright, so you've completed the training and now you're ready to hop into a server. Probably heard about all the different mods that are available, but don't worry. The server maintains all mod versions for you. You never have to worry about updating add-ons. When you join a modded server for the first time, you will see a download list of all the mods on the server. The yellow file sizes mean they are still pending. When they change to white and have a green check mark, that means the particular mod has downloaded. If the server has a queue, at that point, once everything is downloaded, you will then be in the queue. You will join a team and then select a radio group. I like to join one that has a few people on it. If you're dropping into a game for the very first time, try not to deploy right at the front lines. Sometimes the bases are under attack and spawn killing is a thing. There's 3 ways to communicate with your team. Proximity chat, which is just talking out in front of you and everybody around you can hear you. The radio group, which is everybody that's in that group that you just joined, will hear everything that you're saying. Or the platoon, which is the entire team, whether that's NATO or the Russians. So we've spawned up in the main base. Now we need to find the armory. Open the map and zoom in on your location. You will see either a lot of blue or red dots depending on which faction you joined, but they're all labeled the same. The bell-shaped ones are the armories, and they're dropped in pairs when folks are constructing the base. You'll also see things like fuel stations, heavy and light vehicle stations, and helicopter pads around the base. They're placed wherever folks really want to place them at the beginning of the match. And that one tombstone-shaped icon is a helicopter already in flight. We know where the armories are now. Let's go over how to modify your loadout.
Can I get a bearing?
First, I like to add a couple bandages and extra morphine. You never know who you're going to need to help out there. and it could even be just yourself.
Southeast.
Also want to let you know that in the WCS mod, both sides have pretty great starter loadouts already that don't require much. The only thing I would do is add a pistol, maybe add a law or an RPG. However, I will show you how to fully kit out the hard-hitting Scar H762. If you aren't sure which magazine goes with your weapon, just add one of each until you see the +1 next to the weapon, and then return the unused ones. Also, sometimes attachments won't be able to be drag and dropped onto the gun, so you can either hit I to inspect the weapon in this menu, and then drag and drop the items there, or after you've left the armory, long press R, and you will inspect the weapon. Once you're all done, look at the armory again and scroll down to Save Loadout Slot 1. You can look at the different parts of the weapon to unequip and equip different attachments. You will respawn with this saved loadout after you die. Alright, we feel like we're armed to the teeth now. Let's help with the war effort and haul some supplies and rank up. Plus, we will fit in a little better with that private rank being replaced with a corporal anyways. Let's check the map and find out where the heavy vehicle shop is and head over there.
You guys running supplies right now are killing it. Last call from Chiefs coming to you, Prox.
Open the menu and drag a transport truck onto an open area of the map around you. Afterwards, click Play As Character to exit the menu. You'll want to run to the back of the truck and long press Load 100 supplies. The truck will hold 1,200 supplies. Once you're full, hop into the driver's seat and figure out which base towards the front needs these supplies the most. You can mouse over the different bases and see their supplies. Anything under 1,000 supplies I would consider to be struggling. Use your map to plan out a route and head down to the base.
Guys that are in Arkansas,
You're going to unload the supplies the same way that you loaded them back up at the main base.
They're bitching about everything, bro.
You can also run supplies with helicopters, but we're not going to cover them here. I do have a full video dedicated to learning how to fly. The link is up there in the corner and down in the description. I highly recommend you watch that after this one. Okay, we're back in the Game Master mode to cover constructing buildings around the base, as well as an obstacle. Start by going into the command tent and opening the menu. Drag the point of interest you want to construct from the menu onto the open area of the ground, very similar to when you bought a supply truck. So exit the screen and then run over and start constructing it yourself. Initially, you might see that the build function is unavailable. Equip your shovel and then long press the use key. Default is F, but I think it's G. Building these items around the base will take a little while. Next, let's build an obstacle. With your shovel equipped, press the use key and then long press the use key on the build. You'll see the outline of a dirt pile on the ground. It will take a few seconds to build, but it will look very similar to the surrounding terrain, making it rather difficult to spot when you're cruising in a truck. These barriers are able to flip and blow up a truck like you're in a Michael Bay film, so be careful. Check out this clip from my friend Arch Jules. I'll link his video in the description.
She's burning.
Fast what?
I love that I dropped my wall and I can just see it laying right here on my mound that I built. Oh shit! Did that smack your screen like the blast? The blast, like fucking the shockwave smacked my guy like eye level.
No way I hit him.
All right, everybody, that's all we got today.
I hit him.
I hope you're able to learn a few things and enjoyed watching the video.
I'll put him on blast.
Drop a like if you liked it. Leave a comment if you have any questions about something that I may have left out here. Feel free to subscribe if you're new here. Drop by a live stream sometime and we can shoot the shit about Arma.
Okay.
Happy hunting out there. Peace.
Outmade 12 stations. Friendly forces are under attack at Point Missouri. Out.
Are you still up?
Yeah.